The genre of open world games is certainly not slowing down, that's for sure. A lot of games have massive open worlds, and players are dying to jump into them. And it looks like in 2024 and some beyond, we got a lot more to look forward to. We got a roundup of 20 upcoming open world games, so let's get started off with number 20. But before we do, Grand Theft Auto 6, the elephant in the room, is not on this list. We don't think we're going to see this game in 2024. We think that's more of a 2025 thing. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's get started off again with number 20. Once Human is this multiplayer open world survival game. It's post-apocalyptic, and you're running around as super-powered, like heavily armed, badass super soldier people in third-person combat. But some of the post-apocalypticness of this game looks a little creepier, looks a little bit deeper. It's got a little bit more of like a sci-fi horror fantastical element to it here and there, if you watch the trailer. The alien creatures that have kind of like infested and contaminated the planet are called Stardust, but you can actually use some of this stuff that does not contaminate you, and you harness it as like a power. Sounds like video game stuff if you've ever asked me, but what it looks like is kind of like a Remnant style game where you build out characters and jump in with friends and shoot a bunch of awesome monsters. I love third-person action-adventure games, and this one being set in an open world seems pretty cool. As of right now, it's slated for the third quarter of 2024. Next, over at number 19, we have Skull and Bones. This is Ubisoft's big open multiplayer pirate game. You're going to be able to sail the high seas in a completely open environment and make your own pirate and live out your pirate fantasies, alone or with friends. This one has been in the works for like a decade, it feels like, and we're finally seeing it this year. We don't know how it's going to be, but if you ask me personally, I always think the more pirate games, the better. Sea of Thieves is cool, Assassin's Creed Black Flag and Rogue were awesome, so let's have at it. We'll judge it for ourselves when we get our hands on it soon, actually, finally, February 16th, 2024. Next, over at number 18, we have Everywhere. This is a very ambitious game. It's a new studio, new company founded by Leslie Benzies, one of the main guys behind the original Grand Theft Auto games. So with a Rockstar person jumping over here, obviously they can probably get a bunch of investor money and come up with this big crazy thing. And what we have here is Everywhere. We don't really still totally know what it is, but it's going to be like this open world action adventure game, but with different elements. We've seen some more cartoonish elements of the game, like a Fortnite looking game, and then more of like a story driven, realistic, gritty looking game. So it seems like it's going to be a kind of multiverse hopping thing. I don't know for sure. Some people also say that some of the game looks like it's just like generic NFT stuff. We don't know for sure, but we're really hoping we get to see what the deal is with this one in 2024. Next, over at number 17, we have S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 Heart of Chernobyl. Now, this one has been in the works for quite a while, and people are excited because it's a follow-up to the original S.T.A.L.K.E.R games, which were incredible and genre-defining PC games. There was nothing really like them when they dropped on PC. So we're really hoping that they live up to that pedigree, but also what we've seen so far just looks awesome. The visuals are great. The weapons, the mysterious nature of everything, using science, it all just seems really cool and really different compared to other things in the market right now. Being out in the zone again and exploring is something that we're really looking forward to. And it's been delayed a lot, but as of right now, it is releasing September 5th, 2024. Next, over at number 16, we have Project Mugen. This one is weird. This is like a hybrid of like a Persona, Genshin Impact type of thing in this big open city environment where you're running around, engaging in over-the-top combat, doing stuff with your own seemingly created or customized characters, and swinging around the city like Spider-Man. Like, it straight up looks like Insomniac Spider-Man. But besides that, it does seem like it has a lot to offer in the combat department and the exploration. There's lots of different ways to traverse, like riding little scooters and cars, and the destruction and action chaos does look pretty cool. We don't know if we're going to see this one for sure in 2024, but the speculation online has been late 2024 or early 2025. Next, over at number 15, we have Avowed. This is Xbox's next big RPG from Obsidian, the people behind stuff like The Outer Worlds and, of course, Fallout New Vegas. So they really understand this type of RPG. And this looks like their version, their spin on a fantasy thing. Some would say it's almost like their Skyrim. So if you're looking for something like that, and also the talent of Obsidian, Avowed looks pretty sweet. It's technically set in the Pillars of Eternity world, but like it just looks like it's this big, fun, open fantasy thing. And we're looking forward to finally seeing it in 2024. Next, over at number 14, we have Enshrouded. This is like a survival crafting action RPG set in a sprawling voxel-based open world. It's like a whole continent, and you're exploring, doing your thing, either alone or with other people. There's a real emphasis on character building and action combat, aside from just the survival RPG stuff you'd expect, and it seems like it's pretty cool. There have been some rumblings about this one being pretty sweet, so we'd say keep your eye on it. If you like questing, killing, surviving, building, Enshrouded might be for you, and it's releasing in early access January 24th. Next, over at number 13, we have Where Winds Meet. This game looks absolutely gorgeous and made a splash when it was revealed because it just looks like a good open world adventure. You're running around, you're questing, you create your own character, and the open world you're exploring, either on foot or on horseback, just looks really, really gorgeous. We don't know what the main gameplay hook of this one really is yet, but we're hoping to learn more about it in 2024. Next, over at number 12, we have Nightingale, which is a PvE open-world survival crafting game. You can play it alone or with other people, and it's got this kind of different fantasy vibe to it. You're a realm walker. You could have the ability to kind of like traverse these magical worlds, but it's described as a gas lamp fantasy world, so while you're jumping into portals to these different magical realms of monsters and people and things, you're kind of like a fancy pants Victorian era lady or gentleman with cool guns and weapons and slaying monsters. I don't know. I'm just into that. The feel here is really unique, and we're excited to see where this one goes. It's releasing February 22nd, 2024. Next, over at number 11, if we're talking about like big open world things, we got to mention Ark 2. This is the follow-up to Ark Survival Evolved, the massive mainstream hit. It was such a weird, wacky game, but with a big world to explore and mess around in, and we're expecting Ark 2 to deliver way more of that, maybe with a bigger budget this time. This one has been in the works for a while. Vin Diesel is apparently also working on it, and he's in it, and we're excited to see more from it this year. We think it might even release this year. We don't know for sure, but people have been loving Ark on PC for years and years, and then a couple of years later on console, so we're excited to see Ark 2 really keep that momentum going. Now, next, over at number 10, we have the Gothic 1 Remake. This is another game that's been in the works for a long time, and it is a remake of the beloved PC RPG classic. There was nothing really like it at the time, and it's still kind of its own unique, weird thing, but now, thankfully, with this remake, which seems like it's being done pretty lovingly, it's not only releasing on PC, but it's also releasing on the consoles, so I'd love to see, like, new, modern, and even younger audiences react to a game like this. It was revolutionary. We hope that feel really carries over. THQ Nordic is publishing it, and it is slated right now as just coming soon, but we hope we see it this year. Next, over at number 9, we have Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Yeah, we're changing gears a little bit now, no pun intended, with an open world racing game. The Test Drive games are beloved for a reason, and Solar Crown is dropping you on Hong Kong Island, recreated in a 1-to-1 scale. That is incredibly ambitious and hopefully a really, really cool environment for racing exotic, beautiful cars. The gameplay out there looks absolutely stunning. The car offering is really, really good. And as of right now, the release date is just slated as coming soon, but we're expecting to see it sometime this year. Next, over at number 8, we have Rise of the Ronin. This is the next game from Team Ninja, the people most recently behind Nioh. But this time around, they're going for like a 19th century war-torn Japan open world, where you can see different clashing influences in Japan, a lot of cool exploration on horseback and via like a flying machine glider. This game just looks really, really cool. Yes, it's another Souls-like game. There's a lot of them nowadays, but this one looks a little bit different. Not to mention the fact that it seems like they're really emphasizing storytelling this time around. I'd love to see what kind of story Team Ninja can tell here. It seems like they're hyping that up. The trailer features a lot of story stuff, as well as cool action and open exploration that you'd expect, of course, but I'm just glad this one finally has a release date. It's releasing March 22nd, 2024. Next, over at number 7, we have Hyper Light Breaker. You probably know Hyper Light Drifter, you probably love it, but Hyper Light Breaker is like a whole different beast. I mean, look at this thing. It's open world, open environments, running around, fast-paced action and combat, huge monsters, character customization, a gear system. It really is like a whole different beast with RPG elements, could play cooperatively or alone. I can't believe how crazy they're blowing this thing out. This is seemingly going to be a pretty big one. It's published by Gearbox, so I guess it's got some of that Borderlands Gearbox money behind it. The art style, the visuals, everything still feels really authentic to what the developers have done in the past, and we'd love to see that. It has been delayed, but we know that we're probably going to see the early access launch sometime in 2024. Next, over at number 6, we have Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Now, a lot of people were not looking for a live service, endlessly replayable type thing for the next game from the people behind the Batman Arkham series, Rocksteady. Along with that, people probably never expected a Suicide Squad game that's really just kind of like a mindless third-person shooter where they all have guns. So there's a lot of criticisms that can already be leveled against this one. We're really hoping that Rocksteady still just knocks it out of the park because they've made great games in the past. We're hoping this one is good, but we don't know yet. We got to get our hands on it and judge it for ourselves. At the very least, the storytelling seems pretty awesome with the Flash, Superman, all the Justice League heroes being controlled by Brainiac. We've seen some of the cutscenes, we've seen the trailers, like that storytelling that they had from the Arkham games is still on point here, but at the very least, this is an open world game list, and probably the bright spot of this game is that it's like the first real open world metropolis like this. It looks incredibly detailed and interesting and varied, and we're excited to see that because Rocksteady has built great open worlds in the past, and we hope Metropolis is no slouch. You know, despite that, there are a lot of other questions we need answered, but for now, that's where we're at, and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is releasing February 2nd, 2024. Next, over at number 5, we have a game called Light No Fire. This is from Hello Games, the people who made No Man's Sky. So this game, they promised a lot up front. They said this is the first truly open world game, meaning it is a massive whole world or planet for you to explore, seemingly in full multiplayer. It looks like it has different regions, different weird alien cultures, and just a lot of massive feeling exploration. All we have is one simple and honestly pretty gorgeous trailer to go on, and I know people are instantly skeptical because of Hello Games and the promises they made with No Man's Sky when that launched, and it didn't meet expectations. So they're at it again. I think they've learned a lot, and I'm curious to see what comes of this one, because if it actually is what they're saying, and if it's fun, this could be really cool. Now, as of right now, it doesn't have a release date. Some analysts and some speculators are thinking it's been in development for a long time, so we might see it by holiday 2024. I would love that, to be honest. I really want to see what the deal is with this thing, but whenever it comes out is when it comes out. Next, over at number 4, we have Marvel's Wolverine. This is Insomniac's next big Marvel superhero thing. They nailed Spider-Man, and now they're working on Wolverine. And despite some leaks and some things, we still don't know too much about this game. They have billed it from the early days as being like more of an R-rated, gory thing that will be semi-open world. So we're running on that. Are you going to be Logan hopping on your motorcycle, exploring the wilderness? I don't know. I would love to see that. Hell, maybe part of it's set in Japan. Let me explore, like, you know, the wilds of Japan as Logan. I don't know. I'm spitballing here as a comic book fan, but the potential is great. We don't know if it's releasing this year. We hope it is, but to be frank, honestly, we just wanted to talk about it. So yeah, let's move on. Now, next over at number 3, Crimson Desert. This is the next big game from the people behind Black Desert Online, and this is a big open-world action-adventure RPG that looks absolutely incredible. It looks like you can do whatever you want, be whatever you want, and it is super ambitious. As of right now, it was slated for 2024. It seems like it's getting pushed more to 2025, but still, we can't help but be excited for this one, because, I mean, look at it. Now, down at number 2, we have Star Wars Outlaws. This is Ubisoft's Star Wars game from Massive, the people behind The Division and the most recent Avatar game. So if you could say anything about them, it's that they know how to build beautiful open worlds. So we're excited to see where this goes, because not only is it like the first substantial just open world Star Wars game. It's also one where you're kind of playing as a Han Solo type character. You're not just a badass Jedi. So there's a lot of opportunity there to do some really, really cool stuff. The game actually will take place lore-wise between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, which I think is a perfect sweet spot. But that's just me as a Star Wars fan. I'm really hoping this one lives up to the potential, and we'll know for sure when it releases at some point in 2024. That's all we got right now. Now, down at number 1, we have Death Stranding 2, which, you know, if I'm going to go on the first game, I'm going to assume Death Stranding 2 is also going to be kind of open world. The original was all about walking around beautiful environments, and Death Stranding 2 looks like the stakes are raised. Everything looks a little crazier, a little zanier, characters are older, things have happened, but it's still all very vague. We have one trailer to go on. We know Kojima Productions has been working on this for a while now. We're obviously big fans of that studio and the weird, strange things they do. And as of right now, there was like a vague release window of 2024, 2025. We'd love to see it because, you know, there's not a lot of games where you do the weird, silly things in Death Stranding and just carry a bunch of packages. There's nothing else like it. So long live the sequel, whenever it may come. Those are some open world games, but of course we got 2 bonus ones we couldn't quite cram in. The first is S.T.A.L.K.E.R. This is a first-person Western game, but it's in like this retro-futuristic setting where like the world has ended. It just seems cool. It looks kind of like a Call of Juarez gunslinger mixed with Blade Runner. I don't know. Also, Little Devil Inside. Little Devil Inside was always kind of billed to be semi-open world with survival elements, and we haven't heard anything in this game in years, and we're hoping this is the year maybe it finally releases. Anyway, though, those are 20 open world games releasing in 2024 and some beyond. So let us know in the comments what you think. And if this helped you out at all or maybe put a new game on your radar, clicking the like button's all you got to do to help us out. We would really appreciate that. But if you're new, consider subscribing, maybe hitting that notification bell because we put out videos every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.